the third day of the pilot, it was already working. We were standing on the Chicago River, and I turned to Peter Jankowski, who is the president of Walcombs, and I said, there are 3 shows here. And he said, can we, let's get through the pilot. I was just saying, because it was so obvious a night of first, not even a night, but a group of shows that are all about first responders, very much in my wheelhouse and what I like doing shows about. From your mouth to Mr. Nielsen's ear, that we end up owning Wednesday night. I love it, and I hope the Chicago shows all run for, let's see, I guess Fire another 15, PD another 16. Everybody tied at 20. That'd be great.
I am Ilonzeh. I play a paramedic on Chicago Fire, and her name is Emily Foster. Woo woo!
So for Sylvie, things were sort of rough at the end of season 6. Her and Dawson got into a really big fight, and she had a pretty traumatic rescue with a woman who died in her arms. And so she's really struggling with Dawson being absent and trying to figure out how to cope with the changes. And we'll see.
We will.
Yeah, I think Brett has been really resistant to any newcomers who've been trying to fill Dawson's shoes. And so she's not as welcoming as she usually is. But then when you have to go to an emergency, you just have to figure it out. And so while we're still trying to read each other, we find out that Emily really is able to step in a strong way.
Yeah, Emily's super assertive and tries to be as much of a team player as she can, considering her new set of circumstances and her new environment. So although our choreography might be off a little bit, and we might step on each other's toes, we're still trying to dance the same dance. And we navigate it pretty well, but it's fun. I mean, I think that's life. It's very awkward, and it's not scripted, and so you do see kind of a fresh take, and it's a new relationship, and it's fun to kind of fall and I got it and pick each other up, but in an awkward way, and that's where you really find the bond, I think, with people. It's odd, and even for my character. For myself, it's odd. My character, it's a new environment, so it works, and it also works with our relationship because we're new to each other, and she's the PIC, she's the paramedic in charge, and so I know that I just follow your lead and kind of, she's the right hand and I'm the left, and I'm like, okay, and shadow her and find it. But for me, it's definitely something that it's pretty jarring, and it's super real life. I mean, this is as real as it gets. This is absolutely as real as it gets. We shot the scene and we were caravanning. I mean, the scene is huge. So we're caravanning 10 plus trucks, and I look at her and I just jump out of my seat. I'm like, oh my God, this is real. This is huge. And I was like, I have to, hold on, I gotta get my video and I gotta send it to my mom. My mom's a huge fan, my parents, and I'm like, say hi, because they're like, they love Kara, they love Brett. But I mean, it's a thrill for me.
Obviously, there's a lot of pressure. You want to get things right because we want to do justice to the people who are responding to emergencies, like all of these firefighters and paramedics and police officers that rush to danger, especially in Chicago. You want to honor them, and we want to do a good performance so that they're not watching it and being like, that's not really how we do it. We want them to be proud of how we represent them. So we do put a little bit of pressure on ourselves to get it right. And it feels good when you feel like you pull it off, but it is very complex, and it takes a lot of gumption, and it takes a lot of intelligence and coordination, and so it takes time and good instruction from Michelle Martinez and Steve Chiguerotis.
ripped from the headlines too,
It
right?
is.
I mean, she told me a story that was real life that Michelle, our paramedic consultant, went through, and it became an episode on Chicago Fire. And I mean, to me, this is absolutely real life. Like, I'm experiencing real life, and a major. I already had respect for first responders and people that really put their lives on the line to actually save lives, and that level of respect has jumped tenfold.
I mean, I think that Dick Wolf is sort of the last of his kind. Like, there's nothing else like this on television. People try, but no one has succeeded in the way that he has. And I think that it's a testament to his intuition and his smarts, but it's also a testament to the city of Chicago, because the city just continues to crank out stories. Like, I like to say that it is it's a city that continues to get itself into trouble, and there's plenty of material to write and plenty of wonderful people to take stories from. And so I feel like the viewers respond to that. They relate to the characters, they relate to the city, and Dick Wolf just knows what he's doing.
Rocky? Is it a Rocky? Yeah, it's Rocky Star. But no. I feel like in the best way. Like, it's one of those things where you just want to hit the ground running, and if you trip and fall, she just gets right back up and rolls with it. And I think that's super exciting to play, and I think it's super relatable. A lot of times you go into a situation and you're never prepared, and you think you're going to do something or say something, and the next thing you know, you're like, all right, that did not go how I thought it would go at all. I ran that 100 times in my head, and I think she's definitely got that spirit, but there's a positive outlook to it. A never give up, kind of fearless, just keep it moving, and that's really fun to play.
Chicago Wednesdays are obviously med, fire, and PD in one night.
So sit down and get ready for these big, epic episodes.
At the end of last season, we had a little bit of a political disruption when Grissom unfairly and dishonestly seized the commissionership that was rightfully Chief Bowden's. Seized it, took it for himself, and so
we were mad!
We were very mad, and now we're left with the aftermath of that.
It's hard for us. As a family, we just feel like our dad...
Just got passed up for promotion.
Yeah, they took something from him.
I think all the political animals that are within the fire department hate Bowden.
Classic Chicago.
I'm not going to go there. Anyway, my point being is that he is more for his men than from rising high within the politics of the world, and therefore he's always going to have an enemy. And that's a good thing, because you never know what day he might get fired. It might be soon.
Yeah. And we did the burn stage for the last 2 days, 10 days of fire. We did some of the hottest fires we've done on the show. It was bad. It was hot. I was burning up.
We just got
I had
back
my
as
butt
well.
in the fire at one point.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Butt was on
my
fire.
butt was on fire.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you write about it?
No.
The fact that we wear all the gear and it's cumbersome, which is why we have to take it off in hot weather, and then make sure we're hydrated. That's all very helpful. We have a guy called Steve Chigarodis who taught us.
Why am I wearing this?
I know, it's ridiculously hot. Take it off.
Stupid.
Right. So Steve Chigarodis in the very beginning saw just a bunch of actors given to him by Dick Wolf, and he had to train us into firefighters. But what he did is he imbued us with his love and heart in Chicago Fire Department, and we now all hold that. So we now feel the honor of what it is, although we're pretending to be firefighters. The honor of it is with us. So we feel like we are with the firefighters all the time.
That's well said. We wear it's like 65 pounds of gear. It's kind of hard to fake it, but but that's better too. Like it's just hot, hard, sweaty work, doing it for 12 hours. You know what I mean?
Stairs are stairs. You can't fake stairs.
I know.
Climb
I mean,
those
we
stairs.
even had real firefighters complain about the situation. Like, really?
Because they do it once.
Because they do it once. Well, unless
Put
it's
the
one of
fire
those
out and come
crazy
back down.
fires, But yeah,
We do it. How many takes
I don't
on
know.
average?
I don't know.
Too many. See that look? Too many.
Yeah, it wears you down. But we're probably not going to die.
Nah, we
So
are
that
never.
we have that advantage.
We are never truly in danger.
No.
And over the
Hopefully
years,
not.
what's happened is the show's been on the air 7 years. It was just the beginning of season 7. The odd firefighter who has come and worked with us, we've lost the odd firefighter, so we feel that loss with them. So that's why we know we represent them. You know, within the framework of a TV show, we go as close as we can, without, you know, because it's not a documentary. But we've lost people too. It's great. We are very grateful to the fans. The fans are what make it. You see how excited people get over there, and we're very, very grateful that people are still watching the show just 7 years later. So
we just had a little girl come up, and it was her birthday, and we took her onto the rig. We showed her the rig, and she cried.
No, it's
awesome.
It's fantastic. You know, and to the audience, they don't always, you know, they're standing there and they want their picture. They don't always appreciate that we're working or have to focus and stuff like that. And so it feels like we're ignoring them. We're not. We're just trying to be in the zone. But when we have a spare moment, as David did, we go and we embrace them and they embrace us. And I'm very grateful for them.
They all live in the same building now. It's like Melrose Place. I don't live in that building, but I'm around the corner. We've all sort of assembled in the same area. I think that's the bonus of doing something like this when you're in a city like this. You know, if people tend to live in LA or something, then everyone goes their separate ways. But when you're in this, you know, you're out in a city somewhere in the country, and you're all together, then you get it in each other's pockets, and that's really beneficial for the show. Because it brings us all together straight away.
Well, because of the nature of the show.
As the nature, exactly. It ties well into the
firefighters live together.
The surrogate family sort of,
They literally live and die together.
Yeah.
And so we kind of captured that with our group. And hopefully, you know, when you get into the banter that we have in the common room amongst us all, it's very realistic if you're a firefighter or a paramedic and you know what it's like for your 72 hours. So,
yeah, Dick was hoping that would happen, but he didn't envision them all living together. It went too far.
By the way,
he's trying to cut us off a bit now.
I don't live with them.
No, he doesn't.
I don't live with none of them.
But I know where he lives.
Yeah, that's it.
I know
Don't
where
tell
he
him
lives.
Yeah, I think it works better for fans having the show air. It'll be Chicago Med will be on Wednesdays at 8, Fire will be at 9, and PD at 10, which I think it was a really smart move from NBC, and I think the fans, whether you're a fan of, say, Med, Fire, PD, and that's your one show, it'll still be, you watch that. I think it'll be a little bit more seamless for the audience to get familiar with the other shows. I'm really excited for it. I think it's a better schedule than last year. Last year we were interrupted with Thursday Night Football, the Olympics, so we were on the air, we were off the air, we were on. So I think it'll be a better experience just for the viewers and the audience this year as opposed to last.
It's a nice gift. I think since they stuck with us with the crazy schedule last year.
Yeah, here.
Wednesday night. Here you go.
Here's Miranda.
Some, you know.
Here's Miranda Mayo. Wednesday nights at 9.
A little Chicago in your life.
Yeah.
And Sailor McKinley.
Yeah. Watch our show. It's good.
It's good. It's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for you. Right now is the best time of the year. So the sun is out, the weather's nice.
Yes.
We film any given episode maybe half the time on location, so 3-4 days out of an episode we're on location outside. So right now we take full advantage of the weather and people and the streets and locations, and then winter comes around and gives you a kick in the butt.
Right.
It's not so much fun in the winter, but it makes it all that more, I don't know, special when the weather's nice.
But that's Chicago. She's a sassy lady.
Yeah, she is.
You know, she can be really warm and friendly, easy breezy, but she can also be frigid as
Something cold.
Yep.
Yeah, it has been, because everyone's gotten to know the city through shooting on locations. Whether it's up north, we've gone as far as, up near Wisconsin. We've done bottle episodes out, way out west, and we'll go on the south side. We'll go on lake way out west, and everything downtown. And right now we're kind of in the guts, so everybody's gotten to know the city through work. And yeah, it's a big part of the show. It really is. It showcases the city and the people, the architecture, and restaurants. We film a lot of different places in different restaurants as well.
Mm-hmm. It's a great place.
Yeah, it's
a great
super.
place to be.
It's super.
Yuri.
Yeah.
Tell me again.
Otis.
Oh, I'm sorry, Otis.
Yeah.
Sorry. Otis,
Yeah.
please tell me what happens at the end of last season between Commissioner Grissom and Chief Bowden.
Well, in a shocking turn of events.
I don't watch, by the way. That's why I'm asking.
I don't either. I just read the script.
Oh, okay.
We uncover a conspiracy.
Ooh.
In which Commissioner Grissom has been fudging the
No.
numbers.
No.
Of the firehouse.
Oh,
to
Commissioner
make
Grissom.
His statistics look far better than they actually were, and he's been doing this for decades.
Wait a minute. This isn't something he just started doing. He's been fudging the numbers for years.
It's huge, and if we had more than 20 minutes left in the season finale, I'm sure we would have done something about it.
Right,
but by the
unfortunately,
time
everything just time ran out.
By the time we went to talk to the commissioner and speak to the mayor, it was too late. He'd already been elevated to the role of commissioner.
Chicago politics.
So we were left with this stirring cliffhanger.
And now we don't know what's going to happen.
They're going to have to wait till September.
September 28th?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It is. It's on a Wednesday.
It is.
When all three Chicago shows play one night. Yeah.
It's Med, Fire, and PD
Yes,
now.
exactly.
Right? 8, 9,
Chicago
and 10.
Wednesdays.
So why wouldn't they watch live when it's like 1 3-hour movie every week? I don't know. You tell me.
I can't think of a reason why not to watch. All fires are deadly. You can't just assume that a fire is going to be a safe place to go.
Yeah.
This is why normal people run away from fire.
Uncontrollable. And yeah,
we have the equipment to go in there as fake firefighters, or in a very controlled environment.
Of course.
But don't ever go into a fire. That's not a good idea.
Don't start fires.
Yeah, and also don't start them. That could
Unless
hurt you.
you're trying to have a hot dog or some marshmallows for your s'mores.
Oh, I mean, if it's like a little bonfire, in a pit or something, that's
but
okay.
still.
But you want to have a fire extinguisher nearby.
Yeah, don't reach in there. It's hot.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
really
if you know
hot.
anything about fire. It's really hot.
And I didn't learn that till season 4.
I know.
So it was like, oh my God, this stuff is really
what
hot.
is this stuff?
This is insane. Yeah.